Hello everybody and welcome to Kerbal Space Program, where we are going to be going on a tour system. Tour system? A system? There is a system involved in a tour, but we're not going on a tour system. We're going on a system tour. A tour of the system, specifically the solar system. Jeb here is standing on the moon. We will be on the moon as well, relatively swiftly. Let's go ahead and start game. Start game. There we go. Just a quick note as to which add-ons I'm using. This is vanilla-ish. I'm using a science add-on called X Science, and that allows me to more easily see when science is available. I'm also using Kerbal Engineer Reloaded, or Redo. Yeah. KER. In order to have some calculation-y stuff so that I don't have to be running a spreadsheet. I do have MechJeb installed. I haven't fully decided if I'm going to use it yet. I will not use it early on, but if I get tired of gravity turns, I might start using it. So we're going to go ahead and start a new game here. We are going to do a career. We'll just call it Atraitus. There we go. We're going to be playing on normal difficulty, I think. Let's see here. Yeah, this is just fine. No issues here. Anything in the advanced? Not really. We pretty much just want to leave this the way it is. And so let's go ahead and start. And now it loads. There we go. Nice to meet you. I'm Gene Kerman, Flight Director, and your guide for this quick introduction. This is the Space Center. From here, you can manage all aspects of the space program. Feel free to have a look around, hold the right mouse button, like so, to move the camera, or use the arrow keys, like so. Right-click over the Space Center facilities to learn more about them, and left-click when you're ready to head inside, which we won't be doing quite yet. If you need more information, check out the training section in the main menu. Yeah, I'm fine. Okay, so first things first, let's head into Mission Control. So we need to gather scientific data from Kerbin, even. This one will be relatively easy. Recover or transmit any science experiment data from Kerbin to achieve this goal. That'll be really, really easy. And launch our first vessel. We'll take that as well. Okay, we don't really have any reason to go into any of these other buildings, except maybe here. We could do a research rights sellout, but that would be a terrible idea. And we can't afford the setup costs for anything else. Okay, we will not be doing that then. So let's head on into the VAB. The Vehicle Assembly Building. Hello, I'm Werner von Kerman. Hello, Werner. Chief Rocketry Engineer. This is the Vehicle Assembly Building, where we build spacecraft and later roll them out to the launch pad for flight. Launch pad's over there. Pretty impressive, isn't it? On your left, you'll find components to construct your own spacecraft. Select a starting part, then attach others to it to build a ship. You can then have a look around with the right mouse button or the arrow keys. That's it, really. It's not as if it were rockets. Oh. Anyhow, if you need a more in-depth explanation on how to build, have a look at the training section in the main menu. Yeah, we're fine. Okay, so we are running the Making History expansion. So we have the option of the Onion Reentry module, which is actually a fair amount lighter. Let's see, what's the impact tolerance? 12 meters per second? I mean, it's significantly lighter. We'll stick with this for now. It'll be a little bit Russian, I guess. Now, does this thing have... It does. It does have a point up top. Excellent. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do that. We don't have access to anything other than the Flea Solid Fuel Booster, which we're not going to be using immediately. Well, we are, but... Okay, let's check our staging real quick here. So, our first stage is our booster. That's good. Our second stage decouples something. What's decoupling here? Okay, we'll have to test that. And then we'll also... We'll just bump that down to stage 1 and put the parachute on its own stage. We're not even going to bother saving or naming this for now. There we go. We do have a bit of ablation on this, which is interesting. Our nice little launch site here that is rather terrible. And actually, now that I think about it, we need to go ahead and revert this back to the vehicle assembly because I forgot to put any experiments on it. I jumped the gun. Okay, we're going to go ahead and put on some mystery goo. 2 pieces of mystery goo for now. We're not going to put on a Kerbal Engineer computer currently. We'll go ahead and launch this. I mean, I say we're going to launch it, but we're not going to launch it. We're just going to collect some science. And so we shall. Okay, let's see here. X science. Let's see, where is the experiments available right now? Where is the little window? I'm not exactly sure. I'll have to check that later on. But for now, I know for a fact that we can just observe the mystery goo. There we go. We'll keep that experiment. We'll actually observe this one too. We'll keep that as well. And now we'll just recover the vessel. Excellent. Okay, so we got 3.7 science. And we also completed our mission. We can grab another one here to escape the atmosphere. And so we shall. And let's head into R&D with our 5 science. We can get basic rocketry or engineering 101. This will give us access to the thermometer, which will probably give us enough science to get basic rocketry. So we'll go ahead and grab engineering 101. Okay, and let's head back into the VAB real quick. Do we have access to any payload? We do not. Okay, that'll be fine. So we're going to go ahead and go down into science here and grab a thermometer. Just a single thermometer since it's a reusable experiment. And we're going to go ahead and stick that right there. Okay, so as far as X science goes, where is the here and now window? Because that's what I'm looking for. It's the here and now window. But we'll go ahead and go out to the launch pad and figure out where exactly the here and now window is. I can't remember how exactly to get that to pop up. Let's see, right click? No, that mutes music, apparently. Open here and now window. Hey, that's what I'm looking for. Okay, so we'll go ahead and take a crew report. Keep that. Take a temperature scan. Keep that. Yeah, that's fine. And take a mystery goo observation as well. We can also do an EVA report. There we go. And that's everything we can get. We'll go ahead and recover that vessel as well. One of these days, we will launch a vessel, but it is not this day. But hey, we gained 6.5 science. Excellent. That gives us enough for basic rocketry, which is actually enough, theoretically, to make it into orbit. It's a bit rough, though, to make it into orbit with this level of tech. So let's go ahead and... I kind of want to keep the onion re-entry module because it's so light. But let's scrap that and just stick on a hammer. There we go. We'll go ahead and save this as Untitled Spacecraft, and I just want to double check. I'm reasonably certain that we have our 2 contracts. Yes, we just need to launch and escape the atmosphere. Well, we're not going to escape the atmosphere in this thing. I mean, we could. But we're not going to. Does this... Now that I think about it, I don't think that this re-entry module has a reaction wheel. I'm reasonably certain that it doesn't. It does not. Okay. So we're not going to want to be using this thing for very long right now. But we'll go ahead and turn on SAS. And we need to check our staging here. Let's just real quick run a bit of a simulation here. I will revert this flight, but I just want to see what exactly this decouplement does. Interesting. Apparently it does that. And now we're a soccer ball. Okay, we're going to go ahead and revert that back to the launch. Now that we know that it does that for reasons, I mean, we'll just go ahead and stick that here. That'll be fine. Okay, SAS on. You ready to go, Jeb? I think Jeb is ready to go. I think we're ready to fly. Let's do this. Holy crap, this thing has some acceleration to it. We have no way to steer this. You're fine, Jeb. You're fine. We need a temperature scan. We need a mystery goo observation. Nothing could go wrong. There we go. Okay. We're almost out of fuel. We're out of fuel. Okay. Let's get this under control. Crew report. Excellent. We cannot EVA yet. We don't have the tech to EVA while in flight. But we certainly can do this. Yeah. We're not going to be wanting to run this onion re-entry module without any way to steer it. That's just a... That's an awful idea. Okay, so let's go ahead and physics warp right on back to the ground. There we go. Our engine already blew itself up. That's our shadow there. I'm not sure where exactly our engine blew itself up at, but it certainly did. Oh, Jeb experienced a few G's there. I'm sure he'll be fine. Jeb is no stranger to a few G's. Now, the question is, are we going to go rolling off? The answer appears to be no. But we're still spinning. Okay. Well, we're going to recover that before anything horrible happens. There we go. We got 31 science in total, 22.7 from that flight. Earned a bit of funds. Okay, what can we get here? Test a thumper at the launch site. That's nice and easy. We'll do that. We'll do that right now. We don't even need to fly with that. We just need to have it on the vehicle and just drop all of the fuel out of it. Launch this. Test to make sure all of the various bits and pieces are working inside of the engine. And we're done. Well, I didn't check my staging. We lost a little bit of money there from not being able to recover, but it's fine. We made the money back. Okay. Technically the vehicle flew, so we got 0.8 science. Oh boy. Test a heat shield at the launch site. That's nice and easy. We'll do that. Okay. Let's get that done too. We'll get this on out of here. Thermal heat shield, 1.25 meters. And just launch this. And pretty much all we have to do, really, is, once it loads, run test. Contract parameter complete. Excellent. Can get rid of all of those and recover the vessel. Well, any of these other stupidly easy missions? Not so much. That's fine. We'll just take orbit as our next mission. So we need to break the atmo first. And the way we're going to do that, I think, is with a new ship design. We're going to be using a Mark I command pod because it has a reaction wheel in it. We are also we don't have access to heat shielding, so that's going to be exciting. We are also going to be plopping a parachute right on there. That's not the button I was looking for. Okay, do we have any decoupling? We do, but barely. Okay, we'll slap a decoupler there. And then, I mean, basically the only thing we can use to get to orbit is a swivel. So we're not going to specifically try to break orbit with this build. We are just going to, let's see, that's one T800 there. Let's do two T800s. Hang on a moment. What is happening here? Are they supposed to look like that? No. There are things in there that should not be in there. There we go. Okay, so this is two T800s, essentially. Let's slap on a swivel. We have a thrust to weight ratio of 1.91, so that's great. That'll be just fine. Do we have anything to control any aerodynamics? That's a lifting surface, not a control surface. Okay, this will be just fine then. Mission here, merely break atmosphere, so suborbital flight. And I guess we may as well save this. This is going to be kind of the base for our future designs. What do we want to call this? I mean, there's really only one option, right? The Snedgus Mark 1. There we go. Let's do this. That's the only viable choice. Absolutely nothing else we could have named that in the slightest. Okay, SAS on. We will be launching pretty much right now. Let's check our staging real quick. Looks good. Okay, we are going suborbital. Let's go. Going to be starting our gravity turn at about 100 meters per second. Something like that. Essentially, we just want to make our apoapsis as high as possible right now. So we don't want to gravity turn super aggressively. We're not trying to get into orbit, although this thing theoretically, if flown correctly, probably could get into orbit. But I think just getting down to about 45 degrees here and then parking there will be decent. So we'll just get right on down there. Get our gravity turn done-ish. There we go. Okay, let's check our apoapsis. Kinda low. We need more altitude. So we're gonna go ahead and head back up a little bit. This should be fine. Raise our apoapsis. We need to get up over 70. That's 60. Let's get our crew report done. That's 70. There we go. Okay. Now we're just going to try to flatten out our trajectory as much as possible. We're still going to be going up a little bit, but that's fine. We are, of course, going slightly too fast. Again, that's fine. We're losing a lot of efficiency. I mean, should we try to orbit? We're pretty low on fuel. We've broken a lot of records, but that's fine. I mean, if we were really trying to orbit, I probably should have made that decision earlier. Our level of fuel is quite low. I think we'll just save our fuel for a re-entry burn. So let's go ahead and start reorienting around towards retrograde. We don't, strictly speaking, need a re-entry burn, but without an ablator, it'll be nice. Okay, let's stick right about here-ish. And we are in space. Excellent. Now, we can't actually collect a crew report because our capsule is full here and we don't have a container. We'll be getting that soon enough. So we're just going to go ahead and warp around until we start falling back in. There we go. Reorient here. How are we doing on electric charge? Pretty good. We are doing just fine on electric charge. Looks like we're going to have a bit of a nighttime re-entry. That's always exciting, but it's a parachute re-entry. It's not a powered landing, so it shouldn't be too bad. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and move this window kind of over here. I like to have MechJeb stuff over here, so I don't know if this window grows down or grows up. I think it grows down, so I'll just stick it like there. And we'll just reorient to be at retrograde and warp into the Atmo. There we go. And we'll just hold this attitude for a little bit until we start getting heating effects, and then we'll start doing a bit of active braking. So that should be momentarily, theoretically. We'll go up to 4 times time acceleration. There we go. Now we're getting a bit of heating effects, and we're having a harder time holding this attitude. So we'll go ahead and brake. Right there in retrograde. And we're out of fuel. Okay. We'll keep this as essentially some really fancy, expensive ablator for a little bit, till we get a little bit lower on the horizon. Well, a little bit lower in altitude. We're over water, so we don't need to be checking our radar altitude at all, which is very nice. That was fancy. I guess that's what happens when I hit the wrong button. Okay, so we're doing fine on speed, so we'll go ahead and eject that on off. There we go. That's a better camera for this situation. And I mean, at this point, we could release our parachute, but I would rather wait till we're a little closer to the ground. Right about now. And there we go. We'll just warp right on into the water. I said a little closer to the ground, but I meant a little closer to the surface. And this actually isn't a nighttime landing. This is an evening landing. Excellent. Okay, so we will be in the land. We'll be in the water momentarily. There we go. We can't EVA, but we can recover this vessel. And so we shall. Okay, so we got 12.5 science out of that. Excellent. Testing a lot of things. Hauling tourists. These aren't things that we're looking to do. At least not yet. I wouldn't mind getting down to basic science. It would give us the experimental storage unit, as well as the science junior and most of the tech we need to do science. Press mat barometer. Service bay. Drogue chutes as well, and heat shields. Yeah, I feel like this is the way to go right now. We'll grab this. And we don't have the science for that, but that is a-okay. We're going to hop back in the VAB, and actually, I think I'm going to go ahead and put a cut in here, and next episode, we will be designing the Snedgus Mark II, which will be targeting orbit after probably another flight. See you all then.